Okay, so I realized I forgot to give a review of this game last night. Buffalo Bills versus Atlanta Falcons. This was Monday Night Football. So we started with Josh Allen. So he goes 15 for 26, 180 passing yards, 45 passing yards after the catch, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 72.6 rating, 6 carries for 42 rushing yards, okay? He was sacked 4 times, no fumbles lost. Josh Allen played terrible. Okay? Josh Allen hates Twitter. On a run. Okay, I'm gonna show some tweets. Yeah, I don't know. These last few games, he's played terrible. Just some reads and stuff, and some shots down the field that he's missing. He had some good stuff. He had that one shot down the field, and I think that was to set up a big play, and I believe that they got the touchdown or something like that. He had some good stuff. Overall, though, it was a bad performance. Against the Atlanta Falcons, of all teams, is like, really, gotta give credit to their defense, but this was not good enough. And I'm supposed to be told, oh, he was MVP caliber last year, and da-da-da-da, and he's like, bro, they overhype him, bro. This was the game-losing interception. This is a screenshot of it, but NFL didn't post it, okay? And this goes back to my theory that Josh Allen is the Caitlin Clark of the NFL. They both don't win whenever it matters. Excuses get made for them and everything, but people way more harsher for black athletes who have, similar performances as them. Because Monday Night Football to the Atlanta Falcons, bro. Mind you, he was trying to throw this in garbage time, okay? He was trying to stat pad, and boom, he got intercepted. And that interception that he had earlier in that game was terrible as well. But, bro, against the Atlanta Falcons, really, prime time. And you lost against the Patriots, too. Like, please. This one, too, we will never see PR as great as Josh Allen because 2 games lost in a row. We talk about everyone else on the Buffalo Bills. Davis, 19 yards, 1 touchdown. James Cook, 87 yards, 17 carries, okay? And so someone tweeted this, but the Bills don't win games whenever James Cook doesn't have more than 100 rushing yards. And I said this whenever Josh Allen got that bullshit MVP last year, how everybody discredits his teammates and acts like Josh Allen is the only one who does stuff. But that running back be putting up numbers, okay? James Cook be putting up numbers, okay? And when he doesn't have 100 yards for 2 games in a row, they be losing, okay? They don't give this man enough credit. They don't give this man enough credit. Want to say he's a diva, this and that, because he wanted to get paid. Because he be carrying low-key, okay? And, I'm glad people are talking about that more. Dawson Knox, 19 yards, 1 touchdown. Palmer, 60 yards, so you see that. And then we continue on. You see what everyone else has, okay? Prater made both of the extra points. Okay, so you have those things. We look at advanced stats for the game, okay? So, first quarter, 7-14, okay? Atlanta Falcons got off to a hot start, okay? They got off to a hot start. The Bills, they could not guard Bijan Robinson. They could not guard him, so there's that. Second quarter, 0-7. Third quarter, 7-0. And then fourth quarter, 0-3. Falcons had a touchdown, and then they wiped it and everything. And after the replay, I get what they wiped it, but I don't know. I feel like if the Bills were in that circumstance, they wouldn't have wiped it. Lead changes and stuff. Bills never had a lead, and the Falcons had a 14 in the second quarter. We look at total yards, 291 to 443. Time of possession, 28-21 to 31-39. First down, 17-22. Third down percentage, 2 of 9 on third down, okay, to 5 of 12. Red zone percentage, 2 of 3 to 1 of 3. Turnovers, 2-0. Rushing yards, 134 to 210. Passing yards, 157 to 233. Rushing yards per attempt, 5.6 to 6.6. Passing yards per attempt, 5.2 to 6.9. Okay. We continue on. Penalties, 8 to 6. Penalty yards, 64 to 35. Sacks, 2 to 4. Defensive touchdowns, none. Interceptions, 0 to 2. Tackles for loss, 9 to 3. Passes defended, 5 to 9. Quarterback hits, 4 to 6. Forced fumbles, 0 to 1. Fumbles recovered, 1 to 0. And then we have safeties, no more taken in this game. Why the Buffalo Bills lose this game? It's a multitude of reasons. Number one, Josh Allen did not play well. If you saw that multiple times, just some of his decision making the last few games has been questionable. I think that we can acknowledge those things, and y'all overrate him, as I always say, bro. Y'all telling me he the same league as Mahomes. Okay. So, that's number one. Number two, James Cook not having 100 rushing yards. That's one of the reasons why they win this game, so you have that. 3, they had some people missing. I believe they might have had some defensive people missing. Dalton Kincaid did not play this game. So you have those things. Okay. So those are some things that I think are worth talking about. The defensive play calling. The defense could not stop the Atlanta Falcons offense. Okay. Specifically Bijan Robinson. Okay. Could not stop the man. So that was a huge problem. When you can't stop the run, the other team is just going to keep running the ball, and they couldn't stop the run, and they got exposed. The offensive coordinator, Joe Brady, some of the play calling, bro. I wasn't moved by that as well. Sean McDermott can't coach. I don't know. Bill's definitely having some problems, okay? Josh Allen doesn't have that true number one wide receiver, okay? Which they should have, He got Shakir, he got Kincaid. He has decent guys, but you need that number one guy to take you over the top. And Josh Allen hasn't had that for a while, so I think not having that also does not help them as well. I don't know. Like I said, Sean McDermott is not a good coach, okay? It's the same problems that he has. He just doesn't know how to execute. Okay, so you got that. You got the defensive coordinator doing bullshit. You got Joe Brady, some of the plays that he be calling. I'm like, what are we doing here as well? It was just a mess. It was just a mess. The Bills looked out of sorts, and they got owned in this game by the Atlanta Falcons pass rush. So many times they were able to get to Josh Allen, able to sack him, able to stop him in his tracks so he couldn't have the same explosive plays. He had a couple explosive plays, but for the most part, they were really able to limit that. And like I said, whenever your defense cannot stop the run game, then they're just going to keep running it. And so, yeah, I think that that's why they lose this game. But to lose in prime time like this, and he was trying to stop Pat and denied. Okay, so we had those things, but I don't know. We need to have more honest conversations about Josh Allen quarterbacking as of late, okay? Because he be getting a pass. You guys make a lot of excuses for him that you would never make for Lamar, that you would never make for Jalen, because a lot of you guys are racist. So, let's clock that. But, the quarterbacking wasn't good. Now we look at Michael Penix Jr. and the Atlanta Falcons, okay? So he was 20 of 32, 250 passing yards, 140 passing yards after the catch, 1 passing touchdown, 2 carries for 6 rushing yards. He was sacked twice, okay? The numbers are insane. I think he had some nice throws. What was in the throw to Drake London? He had some really nice completions and stuff. I think that he's going to be really good in this league. I think he needs a little bit more time as well. I think he needs some more time. This is his first full year starting, so I think he'll get there. There's moments where I see the potential. There's times where it's just some bad, sacks and stuff that he takes, and just some of the stuff that he does, like some off-target throws. But I definitely see potential in there for sure. Like I said, I think he's going to be really good in this league, okay? So there's those things. There are those things. And while I'm here, that offensive coordinator, what was his name? I don't know, but he was pissing me off. Because that one play, they were near the red zone. That nigga ran the ball 3 fucking times. And Bijan wasn't even in the game, mind you, okay? Who's that other guy? Algier? They ran it 3 times with the same guy, and he wasn't getting anywhere. If you're going to keep running it, then get Bijan back in the game, number one. Or, that's what you need to do if you're going to keep running it. They didn't even let him pass the ball in that position, okay? I forgot there was the kick that got blocked too as well in this game. But the offensive coordinator were pissing me off, bro. Now we look at everyone else. Bijan Robinson, 238 yards, 1 touchdown, 19 carries for 170 rushing yards. Like I said, the man couldn't be stopped. The man couldn't be stopped, okay? A dynamic player, and he's great for this offense, okay? So this was a huge game for him, a huge reason why they win. Drake London, 158 yards, 1 touchdown, 10 receptions. A reliable target for Michael Penix Jr. That 1 touchdown that he had was cool, and then he had that one that got wiped. But just making the catches, it's a good connection. Algier, 38 yards, 1 touchdown, 10 carries for 32 rushing yards. Kyle Pitts is not good. Like, they need to get a real tight end, bro. Like, they need to stop this. Like, Kyle Pitts barely has any good games every year. And then we see everyone else. Kicker making all the kicks. That's all you can ask for. Why Atlanta Falcons win this game? Well, they're coming off a bye week, so I think having that rest and stuff definitely helps. But they got that defense rolling. What was it? That game against the Vikings, they had the Vikings that whole game, bro. Like, it was just over. Like, they made the Vikings play ugly. I think they did the same for the Bills. Able to consistently get pressure on Josh Allen, able to consistently stop the run and, not let James Cook get going like he has. And I think that the Bills just made some crucial mistakes. Didn't they fumble the ball sometimes? I feel like Josh Allen having 2 interceptions and stuff, able to force him into some mistakes and everything. Defensive coordinator got them rolling and stuff with the coverages and everything that he be doing. But the energy that I see this Atlanta Falcons defense play with, quite frankly, is refreshing. Watching the NFL a lot, I'm so used to seeing defense not getting stops, not knowing where they're supposed to be, blown coverages, missing tackles and stuff, and just not having that fire underneath them. And this defense has a lot that they're playing with. They have a lot that they're playing with, a lot of joy. They got them rolling. So I think that the defense was a huge reason why they win, combined with the rushing game. Like I said, Michael Penix Jr.'s numbers aren't crazy. He did enough to win the game. And that's really what it's all about at the end of the day in the NFL. So yeah, Bills got to get it together, because losing 2 straight games, insane. Okay, I just watched the last 2 Bills games because they were on primetime, and I'm trying to watch most of the primetime games this year and stuff. But yeah, shout out to the Atlanta Falcons and everything, because they did what needed to be done. Like I said, Josh Allen hates Twitter on a run. This is generational. Let me know what you guys think down below. Sorry for the late review, but I had to share my thoughts on this game.